Why in the world are you running for county mayor? That's a good question. I keep asking myself that often. I'm making this video to send to some friends because it takes a while to tell the story. And to be honest, my very busy life just got a lot busier. So I'll tell you what happened. Back in November, I was asked to speak at a veterans dinner. I'm a veteran. I served in the 82nd Airborne Division and love our country. I said, sure, I would love to. The lady that asked me said, David, whatever you want to speak on is fine, but what about speaking on Christians being involved in politics? I'm like, oh, sure, I would love to. And talk about that all the time. Christians should be involved in voting and running and helping. So I spoke on it that night, and things went well. After it was over, a lot of people were asking me to run for politics, run for different positions, and I kept saying, I laughed. I said, no, I'm a preacher, not a politician. And for the last few months, I've been saying that every time that someone has asked me to run for something. Well, about in January, Sheila Butt, who was our former state representative, called me on the phone and said, David, would you please consider running for county mayor? And I said, no, I'm a preacher, not a politician. And she said that Eddie Ogles is probably going to be running for the 5th District to be our U.S. representative. And we need someone who is good there, who's solid, who believes right in liberty and will stand and could do a good job to run the business of the county. And I think you would do a great job. And I said, I'm not a politician, I'm a preacher. And she said, I know, but we need good people in there. Would you pray about it? Okay, now what do you say? No, no, I'm not going to pray about it. If anyone asks you to pray about something, of course the answer is yes. Okay, yes. So I said later a perfunctory short prayer. Okay, God, is that something you want me to do? You get that feeling on the inside, I believe by God, that is leading to do that. I pushed that off and kept feeling that. People kept asking me to run for things. And I finally went to God and said, okay, God, I don't know if I should have done this or not. But God, if you want me to do that, then this is what needs to happen. Because I didn't want to do it and I just knew the problems it would be. So I made a list of 7 or 8 things that I didn't think anywhere in the world would happen. Well, this last week, they all came to pass. I'm not going to go through all those now, but they were big, very important, including the people I put on the list. Okay, God, this person needs to ask me to run, and this person needs to ask me to run, and this person will let me call them if I have a question about anything, and all those things happened. So now, what do? I prayed and said I would talk to my wife and my parents, and so I knew my wife was going to be a help because she's a great wife, great mother, great grandmother, great pastor's wife, but she is not a politician at all. She is not the extrovert, outgoing, type person. So I knew when I called her and said, okay, this is serious now, she's going to push away from that. When I called her and told her, she said, well, I'm a yes. Like, what? You're a yes. You're supposed to be my excuse when I go back and say, we talked about it, prayed about it. We don't feel that that's what God wants us to do. And she said, I'm a yes. She said, I know you'll do a good job and you'll help a lot of people. So then I went to see my parents, and my dad said, son, I know you do a good job, but I hate to see you get involved in that mess of politics and the fight and the things that'll be said and done. And I agree. But what do you do? What do you do when someone asks you to run? They ask you to pray about it. You say yes. You feel like it's God leading, but you say, okay, God, I need to know for sure. If you want me to do it, then make for sure. Show me so I won't doubt it. God, this is what needs to happen. And God does all those. So now what do? So I guess now you run. I'm excited because I love this county. I was born here. We moved back almost 30 years ago. When we moved, we had 1 child. Now we have 11 and 8 grandchildren, and it has been a great place to raise a family. And I would like to help Maury County to always be a great place to raise a family. So I'm going to be running, and I'm looking forward to being able to help people. If you have a question about something, an issue, whatever, let me know. One of the little things that I said, okay, I know the domain's not going to be there. There are so many David Bakers. I mean, look on Facebook. There are David Baker groups with thousands of people. You have to be named David Baker to be in them. And I went to our local Electronic Express to buy something, and they said, "What's your name?" David Baker. They looked it up. There are 13 of them. The local Electronic Express, 13 David Bakers. So I knew that DavidBakerForMayor.com would not be available. And I went to GoDaddy, and it was. Well, Gmail, they have even more. It seems like where I can't find the Gmail name that I want. David Baker for Mayor at gmail.com was available too. Just little things, but just more confirmation of God saying, yes, this is what I want you to do. So if you have a question, email me, David Baker for Mayor at gmail.com. And if you have a question or something that you wonder about, let me know and we'll try to help. So I hope this helps, and please be praying for us. God bless you.